Let's talk about the PACT Act. Now, the PACT Act of 2022, PACT, which is an acronym that stands for Promise to Address Comprehensive Toxics. Now, this was introduced by California Congressman Mark Takano. Thank you, Representative Takano. And here's what this does. It is a law that expands VA, Veterans Affairs, healthcare and benefits for veterans exposed to burn pits and other toxic substances. This law helps us provide generations of veterans and their survivors with the care and benefits they've earned and deserve. This act does two things. One, expands and extends eligibility for VA healthcare for veterans with toxic exposures, and veterans of the Vietnam era, Gulf War era, and post 9/11 era. And two, expands eligibility for benefits for veterans exposed to toxic substances. Now, on the side here, it states, and some of the stuff is written more than once, so you will hear me repeat some of this, just to be clear. The act expands eligibility, expands and extends eligibility for VA healthcare for veterans with toxic. Okay, so we already read that part. The VA will improve the decision-making process for determining what medical conditions will be considered for presumptive status. Every enrolled veteran will receive an initial toxic exposure screening and a follow-up screening every 5 years. Veterans who are not enrolled but who are eligible to enroll will have an opportunity to enroll and receive the screening. VA healthcare staff and claims processors will receive toxic exposure-related education and training. The act requires research studies on mortality of veterans who served in Southwest Asia during the Gulf War, post 9/11 veteran health trends, and veteran cancer rates. The act will help VA build a stronger, more skilled workforce to meet the growing demand for benefits and services. The act authorizes 31 new medical facilities across the country, providing greater access to VA health care. What new or expanded presumptions will the act create, and when will they be in effect? For Gulf War and post 9/11 veterans, that includes brain cancer, head cancer of any type, lymphoma of any type, lymphatic cancer of any type, neck cancer, pancreatic cancer, reproductive cancer of any type, kidney cancer, melanoma, asthma. So people, I'm going to say the same thing about this that I said about the Inflation Reduction Act. Every Democrat was for it, and most Republicans were against it. Now, I see on here that it passed in the Senate 84-14. So remember, the Senate has 100 seats. And I'm actually really surprised about this. I'm looking on here, so it passed with 84 votes. I'm surprised it got that much. I wasn't even sure if it was even going to get 54 votes. So that's a huge shock right there, as you can tell. Now, an additional 14 voted no on it. So 84 plus 14, that's 98, which means two people didn't vote on it. I haven't looked at the exact, I haven't seen who all exactly voted for it, who all exactly voted against it. I don't know who the two are that skipped out on it, but nevertheless, it passed, which is a good thing. And so I say to all the veterans out there who might be undecided or kind of in the middle, like, hey, I salute you. Thank you for your service. And I just want you and I want other people to remember this when it's time to vote. So I'm just throwing that out there. That's what the PACT Act is about.